the disclaimer in 3, 2, 1.
Viewer discretion is advised. This podcast is intended for audiences 18 and over and is absolutely not for the easily offended. Strong language, strong opinions, and questionable life choices ahead. The views expressed on this podcast do not reflect the views of the Nerdport Network. Probably, we assume.
Yeah, well, we can assume everything we can because every year we gather around a screen, watch millions of people play a children's game while spending several millions of dollars selling us soda, shaving cream, and whatever, something cleaning and something that's inside the Epstein files.
This is the only show that can go from singing pubic hair in a Manscaped commercial to sealed court documents about the most connected predator in modern history without missing a beat.
And this is Season 1, Episode 1 of This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things.
The money places eyes on the clock. A ticket bomb ready to shock. Still got dodge, chaos let loose. Total less, no more excuse. Just a response, he hits the floor. Feeling drunk, begging for more. Break the glass, tear it down. Smash the room and wreck the town. Look at the mess the ruin brings. This is why we can't have nice things. Seconds, pure heat, fast drums, heavy beat, burn the wood, stay warm, face the center of the storm, break the glass and tear it down, smash the room and wreck the town, look at the mess the ruin brings, this is why we can't have nice, watch the smoke, see the fire, take the wreckage even higher, this is why we can't have nice things.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Season 1 of Episode 1 of This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. I am your host, Stephen Ronnie, and with me, as always...
Captain Stuntcock, your chaos coordinator.
Oh, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you are new to the show, welcome. This is where we dive into the train wreck from anywhere from entertainment to sports and pop culture. And boy, where do we begin? Because we had the Super Bowl to the Epstein files. Because God forbid, there's a lot of shit to unpack in the last week.
There has been a lot of shit to unpack, yes. I agree, 100.
And let's just unpack it. Let's not even waste any fucking time. Just jump right into the entertainment section, and we had a Super Bowl.
I mean, we had a great Super Bowl. It was a defensive game, and everybody's bitching about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the same time, too. But at the same time, you just don't bitch about the Super Bowl because it's not the only thing that people watch. More money gets passed around in that game for anything, but also close to $7 million per 30 seconds of commercials. And let's dive into how bad or good these were.
All right, we start with the best of the best or the worst of the worst.
Let's start with the best of the best. And nothing can be sacred anymore because, God forbid, half of these ones already got leaked way before the Super Bowl even dropped. Like the Pepsi Zero one.
Oh, yeah, they might be looking at a little lawsuit from Coca-Cola over that one.
I don't think there's going to get a lawsuit, but expect Coca-Cola to answer back.
Those are very, very clearly the Coca-Cola polar bears.
Well, there's actually 3 things that they did. That was a shot of Coke. One,
The Pepsi?
clear as day, was the Pepsi challenge. The Bears picking Pepsi, like the iconic Coca-Cola polar bears, picking Pepsi is one.
Yes.
The other one that not many people know, unless you actually like pay attention, was the fact that they used Queen, I Want to Break Free.
Okay, what does that have to do with anything?
So, for years, Coke has used Queen as their marketing campaign for Coke Zero, Coke 2, anything that was supposed to be a break from the norm. Coca-Cola always used I Want to Break Free.
Okay.
So for them to put that, it's a subtle shot at Coke, but
I
it's
don't think that one's a shot at Coke at all. They optioned the same music for the commercial.
but it's
It
but
happened, it
but
happened all the
but Coca-Cola's
think-
known for that. That's the thing. They're known for using that song.
Oh, and Queen is known for that. Well, I think that one's a little bit of a reach.
I don't.
I think that-
I think
little
that
bit.
is a subtlety because you could pick any other song and they choose that song that Coca-Cola has used for
Correct.
decades.
They chose that song because the stars of their commercial were the Coca-Cola Bears breaking free of Coca-Cola products. I want to break free. It's not a jab. It's a song that went with the commercial. Okay, so Coke used it too. That doesn't mean fucking Pepsi can't option it and use it.
I'm just saying Coca-Cola has used it for a lot of shit, and it's just it's subtle, but it's something that if you don't pay attention to it, you'll miss it.
I think on that one we're bordering on the conspiracy theory. There is no the shot was there was no subtle shot. It was a very clear jab to the face of Coca-Cola. We stole your mascot. That's the shot. The music, nothing to fucking do with.
We'll agree to disagree on that one. But then they go after Coldplay, and that's not a shot at Coke. That's just a dig at the freaking affair one. The fucking the people at the Coldplay show. What is it? The Levi backstories.
Oh yeah, that one was cool. That was a simple one.
Yep. Google Gemini.
That one was cool. That one was designed for emotional response, and I think it succeeded.
TurboTax. I think
Did they
that
do
one.
it?
I think that went a little bit too long, but it was still funny.
It was funny. I think that might have been one of the funnier ones this year.
And the one that a lot of people will say that it's not. So it's two things. It was a great commercial, but it was full-blown damage control. And that's Budweiser.
I don't know if we can say it's damage control.
Okay, let me rephrase that. It possibly is damage control after the backlash that's happened to them over the last couple years. It wouldn't surprise me if this was damage control.
Yeah, I don't see it as damage control because I'm from the area where the Anheuser-Busch bottling factory and plant is at, and there has been no real backlash except for online.
But I mean,
That-
worldwide, you're literally playing Freebird with with a bald eagle and a Clydesdale.
Well, even though AB InBev is a German company, I mean,
Oh yeah, well,
Anheuser-Busch is genuinely American.
right.
They always use the Clydesdales.
Clydesdale, the Dalmatian. And then, I don't know, what was your thoughts on the Bud Light one?
I don't remember the Bud Light one.
It was the keg roll. It was the keg rolling down a hill with Whitney Houston playing in the background.
In front of the cheese run.
Yes, the making fun of the cheese run.
Yeah, that was all right.
And then we get to the worst. The vodka one, shake your bottle off.
Yeah, that one was fucking weird. The Backstreet Boy Coinbase.
Yep.
Fucking karaoke disaster piece.
The Ritz shell phone or shell phone.
That's just Ritz pretending to be innovative.
Yeah. AI. AI.com, an AI agent, but there's another one that has I
that one confused.
I don't remember that one as much. I'll give you one though. And this is going to the just disturbing that actually caught a decent amount of backlash from people on Instagram, from the internet community. So TikTok and shit like that.
Oh, Manscaped?
No, we'll get to Manscaped because that didn't actually get the people's attention as much as the Ring commercial.
I don't remember that one.
So it was very simple. Ring Doorbell did a commercial where a girl loses her dog. Okay, very simple. AI now Ring you can log in if they put out an alert that they lost a dog, that they can go on any Ring camera to find this dog. Well, the conspiracy people decided to jump through and say that this is not good.
It's not. It allows people to spy.
And that is what has been catching everybody's reaction. That is what everyone's been saying on TikTok, and it's like they're putting out their own videos on YouTube that
What's to stop some dude?
And what you're about to say is exactly the point.
What's to stop some dude from saying that he lost his dog, gaining access to every Ring doorbell in the neighborhood, and stalking his ex-girlfriend?
You're not whistling dick. I'm just saying that is the one commercial that seems to be on everyone's button. That has been the one thing that everyone's been like saying, "Oh, well, this is not a good thing. Why are they doing this?" Like, and they're not wrong. And you know people are going to say, "Oh, well, do they trust this?" I'm like, it is what it is. Like, this is not a surprise that we're getting this reaction. But
Right.
But then we get into the what the fuck were they thinking spending $7 million on Manscaped?
Singing clumps of pubes.
I mean, we go from Tide and their stains to stains in the drain.
Gross.
Yeah. But, you know.
That was a fucked up commercial.
Yeah, were there any other ones where you just kind of looked at it and went, besides the movie ones, because those are on a different level on their own. I'm just talking about product placement. Is there any other ones that you saw that you were like, huh, yeah, that made no sense to me?
Negative save.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. I mean, they weren't bad halftime commercials or Super Bowl commercials. But at the same time, we did have 2 halftime shows this year.
Yeah, and I tuned into both.
So, all right, where do we want to start? Do we want to start with Cock Rock or Lip Sync Battle or Kid and Play, I don't know how to sing, or Bad I'm going to do a Canadian Destroyer Bunny?
Let's start with Bad Bunny. That was the better show.
Okay. So actually, there is one other thing that I will say that a lot of people have been complaining about with Bad Bunny, and it actually had to do with people that were in the stands. If they were at the Super Bowl you did not see the halftime show because you couldn't see over the grass.
Hey, those were people, by the way.
Yes. Which, God bless the NFL and Bad Bunny for giving more people work. But
Yep.
if you pay, like, just think about that for a second. You paid all that money for those seats. The halftime show usually comes with it, and you couldn't see. You saw maybe, what, an eighth of the halftime show when he was on the roof and anybody, and Lady Gaga and anybody else? That was it?
So the fact of the matter is, the halftime show's not really for the people that are there.
No, it
It's
isn't for the
watching
audience.
it all. So they couldn't see it. Boo fucking who? I thought you bought Super Bowl tickets, not halftime show tickets.
Yeah. I will say this. So me and you have talked about this. Bad Bunny had a great theatrical performance.
Oh,
Now-
it was a great.
Now, I'm going to say this. The only critique I have of this performance is not even him. It had everything to do with the audio being too low on Bad Bunny and Lady Gaga.
That's fair.
His audio was too low where you couldn't understand what he was saying. Granted, too, you had brass and percussion instruments behind him that were drowning him out. There's nothing you can really do about that because percussion instruments can drown out unless you have his audio turned up.
Which it should have been.
It should have been. They should have noticed that and adjusted it mid-performance. But that seems like that's going to be a thing that between both sides, because we'll get to him in a second, but the Kid Rock one had the same issues too. The difference is that's on stage. This isn't a freaking outdoor arena where it goes through the air.
Right.
So, like, one's a little bit harder to adjust than the other.
Slightly, yes.
Now, obviously, this show comes with some controversy in the form of the SEC, the FCC.
FCC.
Yeah, not SEC.
Damn it, Ronnie.
The college football's over. College football's over. Just means more to them, damn it.
Damn it.
But the FCC has come out and has said that if Bad Bunny was possibly cursing in Spanish on live television.
I mean, he could have been.
Now, none of that was in English. So he could have said whatever he wanted. And unless you spoke the language.
Yeah, you wouldn't know what he said.
Right. So, but this is the second show in 2 years that the Super Bowl has been in controversy for the halftime show.
Yes, that is correct.
Obviously, last year was Kendrick Lamar. Pretty much doing the whole calling Drake a PDF file.
Correct, sir.
And then you have this with him cursing. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Now, they also said that if someone from the FCC said if this was done in English, they would have literally cut the feed and fines would have been ridiculously heavy.
If it would have been in English, it would have been blacked out immediately.
Now, the question too is overall, because you had two sides of this. One, you had people that were like, "Oh, this is terrible. It's in Spanish. It's not this, and this." Like,
look, there are several people that got pissed off over Bad Bunny, and they're like, "This is a direct quote. This is America, and we speak English, not Puerto Rico, where they speak Spanish." And I straight up like screenshotted it and sent him like, Puerto Rico is part of the U.S. He is a U.S. citizen. Like, people's ignorance really showed this Super Bowl halftime show.
yeah. Now, I wonder, now just for me, if you came out and said that you have a bigger issue with Bad Bunny because he was being verbal before his performance about the administration and stuff like that, I'd be like, all right, you have a little bit of an argument, but it's America. He can say whatever he wants.
Correctamundo.
He could have performed in a dress, which he said he was going to do. There's questions about that I have that there's only two answers that it could possibly be.
And those are?
Either he was lying or the NFL said no.
Fair.
Like, that's the only two options he could have, because he flat out said in an interview that he would do the halftime show in a dress to support LGBT and queer artists. And he wasn't in a dress. So either logically, one or two things is true. Either the NFL told him no, or he was saying that for publicity.
Probably the publicity.
Obviously, but both would not be out of the question.
No.
And I mean, it's a minute point, but it is something that was said, and you have to bring it up. Because, like, the other thing is, too, is, like, Bad Bunny has been very verbal about this administration when it came to Border Patrol and stuff like that. And how he refuses to perform in America while, let's not cut squares, while Donald Trump is still in office. Granted, then the NFL calls and he jumps at that to perform in San Francisco. I digress. Just saying. But let me ask you a question about this. And I'm going to put up a poll about this, and I'm curious. What if this was the other way and it had to do more with religion? Now, obviously, Bad Bunny's not talking about religion. No one's talking about religion. This is just something that I want to do. Like, it's a full-blown country singer. I'll throw in a name that I've heard a lot of people want to do the halftime show, and he's been in the news for his speak, but in more than one way. Jelly Roll.
Okay.
What if Jelly Roll, what if there was a mosque shooting, or just hypothetically, a mosque shooting, a church shooting, something like that, and Jelly Roll before the halftime show, leading up to the halftime show, was for the most part using publicity about God before, just to get to the halftime show. Would people still be outraged?
That's pretty much all they did. I mean, it was all country gospel fucking style music, and Kid Rock fucking preached a sermon for some damn reason.
But you know what? What's funny is Kid Rock is the last thing far from fucking country. He is a country artist now, but I remember when he was a fucking rapper.
A really terrible one.
Rapper with a song called Yodel in Her Valley. Yeah, go look that up, people. It's worse than Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, that's true. It is.
So I don't consider that. Like, let's just say it was the other way and Jelly Roll was doing this, who is, let's face it, probably when it comes to country, one of the biggest artists out there now. And leading up to it does what Kid Rock was doing. Would people, and it's on the Super Bowl, would people be outraged?
Not as much as they are. Like right now, a lot of the outrage is coming from the fact that he's denying getting caught lip syncing.
Right. I get that, but
And the fact that it happened at the Super Bowl, like, okay, first off, why the fuck you lip syncing a song that you wrote that made you famous, for fuck's sake?
oh, okay, yeah, all right, Kid Rock. So the Turning Point one, we're shifting over to now.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I just want people to realize we're shifting to the Turning Point one.
Because my God, that was a god awful piece of fucking shit.
And then when he actually did sing, it wasn't even his song.
No, it was his verse that didn't need to be in the song. Like, I can't even call that a money grab.
No, that was everyone's like, people have said, oh, well, if you wanted an alternative, it was a good alternative. I'd be like, and me and you have talked about this. If you could put together your own Super Bowl halftime show, what would you want to see? And not even music. Like, if you could say you want to do one thing for a 30-minute Super Bowl halftime show, and me and you have talked about this, why don't they bring back Sunday Night Heat for the Super Bowl? Super Bowl Heat.
Because it would make people tune out. And whenever people change the channel, what are the odds they're going to change it back?
I mean, granted, this was a huge thing in the 90s. When the Super Bowl halftime show was on a downswing, a very big downswing, you had...
Because they kept getting shitty fucking guests.
Yeah, well, when you're doing The Lion King, when you're doing Disney sing-alongs as the... when you're doing Disney sing-alongs as the halftime show...
You know what my halftime show is? My ideal halftime show runs about 3 minutes and 6 seconds, and it's just them playing the fucking DuckTales theme. Everybody's going to be up and cheering and fucking woo, and then the game gets back on and we can go home early.
But like, we grew up with Halftime Heat, Death Bowl.
Yes, the celebrity death match.
Like, why? Now with YouTube, now with live streaming, why couldn't we see, and I'll just use an example right now because they have the all set up, why couldn't we see a performance center, a one match in the PC for WWE during a halftime show?
Again, I've already said.
Yeah, because they'll turn away.
That's right.
But, I mean, was the Turning Point show a good idea? It would have been better if you had better people, not three unknowns and Kid Rock.
Yeah.
At the same time, maybe don't lean into preaching either. I mean, both halftime shows preached. We can't deny that Bad Bunny didn't preach a little either. May not understood what he's saying, but he did preach. Hell, the guys that were the best at it were the ones that usually do fucking preach, and they didn't say a fucking word in Green Day.
Yeah, how weird is that?
Right!
Like they had a prime opportunity to be like,
I'm sorry. If you told me going into it, Green Day was going to do the halftime show, I would have been like, okay, I'm just going to watch to see what he has to fucking say, what political statement he's going to make, because they're punk. Kind of what they do.
I mean, Green Day's always been a really political band, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, they're punk rock. That's literally what their job is.
You want a political halftime show? We have to bring a band out of retirement.
Rage Against the Machine?
Fuck no. Who's going to pay $1,000 a ticket? No, I'm talking about NoFX.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can tell you, they would play Now the Idiots Are Taking Over, Separation of Church and State, Idiot Son of an Asshole.
Can we get Tool? Just one song. Tool plays just one song and it's 30 minutes.
They just play Schism.
Yeah! Just one.
Go.
Welcome to the halftime show. They play one song, and that is the halftime show. People are like, oh, well, you'll be affected by this, so what if they brought back all these punk rock bands, these controversial bands? Someone goes, it's in LA next year, bring back NWA. I go, I would pay just to see how people fucking go lose their minds for that. They would lose their fucking shit if NWA did the halftime show in LA next year.
The TPUSA show is just absolutely fucking terrible.
Will we see, maybe not TP, Turning Point, will we see somebody else take a crack at it, though?
I'm sure.
And it really depends who's performing next year. We don't know yet, obviously, but is it another quote-unquote cash grab by the NFL? Because let's face it, that as much as no one wants to say it, and yes, cash grab to people might be a different term, but Bad Bunny is one of the most popular stars in the world.
Right now,
next to Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars is more popular, but that's beside the point. You have shows going on in Puerto Rico. You're going to have a game in Puerto Rico, possibly. A game in Brazil. You're getting games in Paris and Germany again, in London. So, more people have now their eyes on the NFL because it's a person that they've known, that they're known for, like, that they know, like, their music. So now, hey, the NFL's going to be there. I might want to buy a ticket. So, it's a win-win. But, we'll see. We'll see what happens within the next year, because God forbid we're getting, it's going to be another one. There will be somebody else. My bigger question is does Jay-Z keep his contract after this year?
probably not.
No. Rock Nation probably loses it because of the whole Diddy and Epstein's. Final thoughts on the halftime shows.
Already given my thoughts on them. There's no need to summarize what I said over the last 5 minutes.
Okay, then moving on. Are you a fan of Voltron?
I was a fan of Voltron.
Well,
give it started.
Well, you know we're getting a new movie, right?
I do.
With the Cavalier, with Henry Cavill.
Yeah, that's.
So the good news is with the Voltron movie coming out, Hasbro has tied their wagon to the movie, and we are getting a brand new toy line to coincide with said movie.
So that's an interesting point right there. Because the fact that they're gonna to revive and reboot an 80s toy line that was a massive success, it shows me that they've got longevity in mind, not just for the toy brand, but for the movie brand itself.
Right. Yeah, so I mean that's a good point. They're thinking more franchise than they are right this second.
Right. Well, I mean, and also, if you think about it, like the let's jump in the Wayback Machine and go back to our childhood in the 80s. That's whenever they really were pioneering creating a toy line and then a movie to go with it. And
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what we're going to see here is we're going to see the Voltron toys long before we see the Voltron trailer. The last time I really remember that happening was the Spawn movie.
So the Voltron movie is supposed to be coming out this year.
You'll have toys on the shelf 6 months before the movie hits theaters.
I bet you once you see the first trailer, the toys will be out already.
Yeah,
like I said, it's gonna coincide with the trailer launching. So we should be getting a trailer soon too.
Yeah, like I said, man, it'll be 6 months of a heavy toy campaign before the movie comes out. And then once the movie comes out, the toy campaign's going to kick into overdrive.
Yeah.
Because they're hitting two really important markets with this one.
Yeah, the adults and the kids, they're getting both.
They're reviving something that now a dad, can be, that I can look at my son and be like, hey, son, I want to show you the show that I watched whenever I was your age. Yeah, it's a movie now. We're going to watch it.
Yeah, and the thing is too is what people don't know is there was a reboot of it as a TV show on Netflix.
Yeah, but it wasn't very good.
No, it wasn't. But there is a revived anime style show, and it's on Netflix. I think Johnny Youngbosch is the only person of notoriety that's in that Voltron show.
Black Ranger #2.
Yep, and if you guys don't know of Voltron, you know of Power Rangers. So get ready for that. Get ready for those new toy lines, because you know that's going to come out with a new toy line when they drop that new fucking season.
No. We can't compare those two.
Well, I'm just saying, you know they're going to be putting out new toys when they drop that new season, though.
Well, yeah. But I'm saying we can't compete with those. We can't compare those two because they're both Japanese properties. They're both based off of giant robots, and they both came out around the same time.
I mean, the closest thing you can get to comparing Power Rangers to anything is Ultraman or Kamen Rider.
Ultraman, definitely. Now there's definitely some Voltron in Power Rangers with the connecting droids to make the fucking super fucking
the Zords to the Megazord and
right, instead of 5 wolves combining to make one giant fucking 5 dinosaurs.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, it's a giant lion assembling to make a giant lion, make another giant lion. It's studio contracts. So they'll make money. It will make money because those toys have always been cool.
They're wolves, you swine.
That's fair. But now here's my question. I wonder if they're going to use magnets this time around. Because remember when we were young, they were connecting. Like they had the ball and socket that connected. I wonder if you're going to get magnets that connect these together.
on some parts, but you're still going to have the ball and socket for articulation.
Oh, I meant like to make it to one big Zord.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like the shoulders and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, to connect them all and still have any type of stability in the thing, you're going to have the ball and socket armatures.
yeah,
That's just that's a have to.
yeah. But before we move on, let's jump into one of our, I wouldn't say sponsors, but one of our reads that we'll do, because when you're bored of entertainment, you need a boost to get power through your day. So the show and the movies and TV portion is sponsored by Ghost Energy Drinks. When you feel the difference with bold flavors, zero sugar, natural caffeine, Ghost delivers the energy and will tackle your biggest challenges. No jitter, just clean, sustained energy. Ghost packets with B vitamins give you that extra edge. Fuel greatness, great other new flavors. But also, myself and Ryan drink the living fuck out of these things.
I really do. You know, they got 2 new flavors that just dropped.
Yeah, which ones?
So we've got a blue raspberry
Yep.
and a Welch's grape cran.
So I have had that cran, and it literally, you know what? I'll say that it's worth the money. I've not had the blue, but I should start bringing back what you drinking.
Yeah.
But also too, it's not just about energy with them. They also do stuff for pre-workouts, post-workouts, as well as protein shakes. Go check them out. Literally send them an email telling the Nerdport Network sent you. Maybe we'll get them, and hopefully we will hear from them soon.
That's right.
Yes.
Go.
But moving on. Speaking of getting a boost in sales and a boost in energy, in movie news, Iron Lung, an indie horror film done by YouTuber Markiplier.
Yes.
A $3 million budget movie that no one had any fucking hope for.
And that motherfucker's about to 12 times its money.
It is about to gross close to $40 million. It is about to cross over to $40 million by the end of this weekend.
That's fucking insane.
It's great. I mean, great for Markiplier.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a movie that he wrote, he directed, he did all of the stuff. $3 million budget, and he's grossing $40 million. And it's not even like it was a movie that, how to describe it, that was in worldwide. It was a straight indie film.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is just another one of those success stories to show you that independent artist passion can be better than big studio budget.
Speaking of big studio budget, because God forbid we have to go from fairy tales to fairy tale, Disney, you reap what you sow. Yes, I know the line is reap, but no, I stand by what I said. You reap what you sow, because the numbers have finally come in, and Snow White has officially lost $170 million.
How the hell do you lose that much?
Next to marketing, next to the controversy that was tied to this movie.
Oh, is this the one with Peter Dinklage bitching about little people?
So there's two different things. One, a lot of people bitched about I was about to say Zellweger. No, Rachel Zegler being Snow White. If you don't know, she is Hispanic. She is most known for, besides this now, being Maria in West Side Story.
Right.
A lot of people didn't like the fact that you're going to have someone called Snow White and it's going to be Hispanic. Those are the MAGA people, beside the point. That I didn't.
Hold on. I knew a girl named Snow White. This
Yeah.
is no joke. Really did. Her name was Snow White, and she was a fucking crackhead.
Okay then. I didn't like the fact that she was there because she didn't fit the look. You got to judge everything on how they are, and the screenshots and stuff. It looked bad. It looked bad from the start. That she looked like a failed version of Lord Farquaad.
She looked like Snow White on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Like,
but
Garden, right? Maybe it looked like a fucking retard.
But this was also like, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna stand by it. You have a movie. Here's the problem with these remakes. When you go back and actually dissect what these movies are, you can't make these movies nowadays because they're not able to be done. Because let's face it, in a bubble, Snow White is a vanity movie.
Yeah.
So the whole point is when she asked the mirror who the fairest of them all is, it's supposed to be because the Snow White is better looking. Forget age, different time frame, because they live less. They live shorter lives then. That look better than the evil queen. So riddle me this: how is the evil queen gonna look better than Snow White in a movie about vanity?
Good casting.
Right, but you casted Gal Gadot, who is 1,000 times better looking than Rachel Ziegler.
Right.
So right there, you lose points on that because there's what's the argument? Then there's the Peter Dinklage outrage, where it started with Peter Dinklage getting calls from Disney to be one of the Seven Dwarfs. And the story is that he looked at them, turned it down, and said that it was an embarrassment. That they shouldn't be getting just little people roles. They should be getting roles that Brad Pitt can go out for.
That's true.
I'll give you two people that have been outlandish about this. Hornswoggle from WWE and Brad Williams.
Who?
And Brad Williams, the comedian.
Oh, Brad Williams, yeah.
Both of them have said the exact same thing. You may be bitching, but that check from Elf cashes every year, doesn't it? That Game of Thrones check cashes every year, doesn't it?
Right.
They lost out on money, and they lost out on Disney money.
Big Disney money.
And they have every right to be pissed off. And then that's where they came out with the whole, it wasn't supposed to be seven dwarves, it was seven mystical people.
That all just happened to be like 3.5 feet tall.
Yeah, it wasn't even that. And then that got backlash. And then they CGI dwarves.
Oh, good.
And whatever. And this movie was failed. This dude was doomed to fail from the start.
Well, yeah, it immediately became like 9 different memes. For fuck's sake, they AI'd her with retard voice and Arnold Schwarzenegger voice.
And but the one thing that I think everyone agreed on was if that, and it shows now with the money with the financial statement, people voted with their wallet on this movie. They didn't go to the theater. They stayed home. They did not bother because it was competing against nothing.
Right. It should have been a smash hit.
Yeah, and it lost $170 million.
That's
I mean, to the point where now this was such a flop that they've canceled a lot of live action up and coming movies.
yeah. They've been pulling the plug on quite a few.
So Disney kind of saving their ass, but at the same time, like, actually have come out and said they might be going back to hand-drawn movies again.
They need to.
You need to come up, like, I've said it before. I told you when we had the conversation back at the old Betty window when The Little Mermaid came out,
Yeah.
that I had no problem with a new Little Mermaid movie. But they should have called it something different. Because there's more in the universe that they could have used, and it could have been a different version, it could have been a different moneymaker, and it didn't have to be, like everyone else says, a black Ariel. Obviously, that's what they're known for, and I get that. It's not that's not the reason, but I'm saying is there was already the Ivory Coast. You could have done so many different stories, and in retrospect, when you take a step back and look at what the base of The Little Mermaid is, it's a girl giving up her voice for a guy.
I mean, if you go all the way back to the Grims.
Yeah. So, like, that doesn't look right when you do that way, but, like, beside the point on that, you could have easily done something different and went into that whole universe and explored that universe. And still called it The Little Mermaid.
Well, yeah, but it was a reboot.
Right. Like they did with Beauty and the Beast. It wasn't a shot. It was and they did it with Lilo and Stitch. It was a shot-for-shot remake, but they expanded the world.
Right.
Now, Lilo and Stitch had different endings, but Beauty and the Beast didn't. But beside the point, they kind of did it as a shot-for-shot remake, but expanded the world that they were living in.
How did we get from them losing $170 million to The Little Mermaid?
Well, I'm just saying because there was other things. Like, it's not... This is the big thing that did happen. There were other things that led to this.
Well, the important thing has nothing to do with them remaking The Little Mermaid as a fucking reboot, but making her black.
No.
It's such a shitty job that they lost $170 million fucking dollars.
That's what I mean. It's just that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Well, no, the straw that broke the camel's back is that they made a shitty fucking movie and then promoted it like a shitty fucking movie.
That is very true, too. But speaking of things that have been rebooted that are not shitty, there was not a lot of TV news. But apparently the list of TV shows that have been renewed have come out.
Drop it.
So we have an official date for the final episode of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Would be May 21st. The last season has been renewed for The Boys on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
We are getting a 39th season of The Amazing Race.
Not surprised.
Probably one of my favorite newer shows because it is the modern day Twilight Zone. Black Mirror gets a season 8. The Lincoln Lawyer gets season 5. NCIS, Survivor, they're all keeping going. They all got renewed. Is anyone surprised that Survivor, after 50-something years, gets renewed again? Or not 50 years, sorry, 50 seasons? We got Hulu and Disney gets a Handmaid's Tale spinoff called The Testament. I hope you like Stranger Things, because we're getting an animated one, Tales from 85.
That's old news.
That's old news, but it has been official that is now going to be taking place in between seasons 2 and 3.
Again, that's old news.
But
that's been official.
but it's
that news right there has been official since the final episode dropped on New Year's Day.
okay. Well, we're still getting the Upside Down. It's not done hitting people. Now it's just in cartoon form. Seth Meyers got renewed by NBC. I already said about Colbert. Jon Stewart remains on The Daily Show. And that's about it.
So just a bunch of renewals.
Pretty much. Nothing a big concept. But, you know what? I think it's time to get into the sports topics because, God forbid, I think people want to make some money, but until we can make some money, we got to remember that our sponsor for the show is Caesar Sportsbooks. Ready for take your sports entertainment to the next level? Download the Caesar Sportsbook. Use the referral code down below. Get $50 in bonus bets back. It also helps us out. Caesar Sportsbook offers unbeatable odds, exciting promotions, chances to earn rewards for shows, hotels, things along that line between football, baseball, basketball, and NASCAR. Feel thrills like never before. Users get a risk-free bet, so why wait? Gamble responsibly. Join the empire at Caesar Sportsbook. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. If it is not 1-800-GAMBLER in your town, please go look that up. Because I know there's multiple. Out where I am, it is 1-800-GAMBLER. I know New York is different. I think out by you is different too.
We have 1-800-GAMBLER, but we also have 1-800-BETS-OFF.
There you go. So make sure if it's not 1-800-GAMBLER, check online, check your local areas. Make sure if you have a problem, get help. Bet with your head, not over it.
That's right.
Yep. And boy, we are definitely starting with some controversy in the Olympics. Shocking, right?
Sure.
A Ukrainian sledder for a skeleton has withdrawn from the skeleton today because the Olympics have banned his helmet tributing to the war in Ukraine and the deaths that have happened in the war in Ukraine.
That seems fair.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you think about it, it was something that he did in practice, the practice rounds. The Olympics saw this and said no. And that's not a surprise. The Olympics don't want, as much as everyone's like, oh, well, the Olympics is a political standpoint. It's not. It should have nothing to do with, as much as it has everything to do with the political stuff around the games, it should have nothing, it should have everything to be about the athletes and not the political climate going on outside the games.
Agreed.
So, good on the Olympics for putting their foot down, but at the same time, you couldn't just. Was it that big of a hill to die on that you withdrew from the only event that you were there for? Were you really there for the right reasons? On the Olympics? Like, it's the Olympic stage. Were you really there for the right reasons?
And they had to earn their way there.
Right. So if you're going to withdraw because they won't let you wear a helmet that is criticizing a war, why are you there?
You're not supposed to use the Olympics for political statements.
Right. I know this. You know this. You get what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it's stupid. But we also talked about it. We had the Super Bowl. And boy, was this game a blowout? As much as everyone says it was close, it was a blowout.
Slightly.
Very defensive game, but at the same time, it was an embarrassment. Drake May was outplayed, was outmatched. Seattle had a better team, and Seattle took advantage of it.
Yep, congratulations, Seattle.
Yep. Now we move to the next year, and God forbid, it's embarrassing because people have already put money on it.
Yeah, those are people with betting problems.
Yes. And people have already put money on the NFL draft. We're still 2 months away from the NFL draft, and the money has been flowing already. These are the type of people that need help.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going into it because, God forbid, my team won't be in it.
Yeah, my other one either.
I'll just say this. The Jets this year are dead last to win the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I have fun things. Thank God for college.
Yeah, right.
But you know what we do have coming up? One of the greatest races of all time this Sunday. 200 laps of controlled disaster. They're making a left turn. Because God forbid if you make a right, you will crash into a wall. It is the Daytona 500. Are you going to watch it? Rye, are you going to watch Daytona?
No, I am not a big NASCAR fan.
Really?
Yeah, it's just not my cup of tea, man.
That's fair. Daytona to me is background noise to me. I will always have the NASCAR on in the background because when it's on, it's a lot of fun. It's always nice to hear.
I mean, I don't mind watching it. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, this race is coming up. I'm going to get ready to sit here all day and watch the fucking tailgate, and I'm going to watch them fucking make left turns and get hammered.
No, Daytona is the one that I will sit and watch the pomp and circumstance and all that. Like I'll watch I'll watch all the fucking sideshow stuff because it's Daytona. Usually they go all out with it.
True, it is Daytona.
Other than that, it's just literally on mute in the background on one of my 6 TVs. I'm not even exaggerating about that.
Oh, I know.
But it's going to be an interesting race this year because it always is. It's Daytona. I think it's hilarious that it's the day after Valentine's Day.
Oh, that is funny.
Hey, baby, let's go to White Castle for Valentine's Day. Then we can get home and stay hammered for NASCAR.
Oh.
Listen, NASCAR is the easiest sport to follow. Why? Because, like you said, they only make left turns. It's the easiest sport to follow drunk.
Absolutely.
I will say this. I think so. Right now, there's two people that I think have a chance of winning this year, and it's one guy that just literally won the first duel, and that would be Joey Logano, who's going off at like 16-1. But the difference too is I think there's some manifest destiny. I don't know who's running with this team right now, but we are in the 25th anniversary of Dale Sr.'s death.
It's hard to believe it's been that long.
Yep. The thing that's weird about this one is that the color of Dale Sr.'s of Dale Jr.'s car this year, that I don't know who's running the 8.
Yeah.
But it's in the good wrench black. It's in the Intimidator black. Why do I have a feeling like that whoever's running that car this year is going to win? I know it's a weird thing to say, but it's like I said, it's 25th. It's the 25th anniversary of Dale Sr.'s death.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be cool to see the black Goodrich car back out there.
Yeah, and it's not, but it's, to clarify, it's not the Goodrich car because it's not the sponsor. It's still,
No.
But it's that color. It's that black and gold, like.
It's the color palette that the Intimidator used. That flat black for the base of the car.
Yep.
And I mean, it was always the Goodrich car.
So yeah, I mean that's gonna be insane to think of that we're getting that. Now, would have been cool to see Dale be driving it, but he can't.
Right.
I would have put money on Dale in a heartbeat if you told me Junior was racing in that car. But because of a crash that he had, he physically can't. He retired.
Right, he couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah. So I can totally see that being a thing. But it's gonna come down to it's Daytona. So enjoy it, have fun. If you have the money, put some down. But just enjoy it. Enjoy the race.
That's the whole point of it.
Yeah. But and this is where people are going to start getting really bad with betting. Oh God. Start here in center field, baby. Pitchers and catchers have officially reported.
That's right. It's that time.
We are about a month and a half away from opening day.
That's good news.
And we will dive into baseball when we start seeing more about when the rosters are supposed to be, lining up and more in that. We'll have our breakdowns of, like we normally do every year, we'll have our breakdowns of the divisions and stuff like that.
Right, we've got to get a little more information. We can talk about who's signing, who's trading, who's letting their shit expire.
Yep. I will say this: if you're gonna look at teams that I already know about that without injuries right now, Detroit just signed Justin Verlander as their fifth starter.
Oh shit!
Yeah, Detroit, pitching wise, is a heavy favorite to win the Central, the AL Central. Their pitching rotation is disgusting.
Yeah.
But again, we're getting to a point where, do we really know this? Because God forbid, it's optimism. Baseball's back. Time to let everybody think that you know what the fuck we're talking about. Because God damn it, when we don't know really what we can do, because there's 162 games and, well, there's just optimism. But with that being said, we will take a short 3-minute break. Play song of the week. And when we get back, we will dive into our anchor topic about a certain set of files and wrestling news to close out the show. So enjoy the song of the week. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Listen. Los soles por fin se vieron. Everything is under the sun now. Justicia para ellos. The stadium is packed. The bass is loud. Un conejo bailando para distraer al crowd. They use the icons to keep us blind. Mientras los nombres salen sin mirar atrás. Now the past is falling down. El teatro se rompe, se acaba la función. Salven a los niños. Save them now. Castiguen al culpable. No more mercy. Let the house fall. Que se caiga. La verdad está aquí. Touchdowns and trophies. A clever game. Pantallas brillantes para ocultar el name. The files are heavy, they burn through the floor. No queremos fiestas, queremos mucho más. Se acabó. The documents reveal the mess they made. Su cortina de humo pronto se va a borrar. Salven a los niños. Save them now. Castiguen al culpable. No more mercy. Let the house fall. Que se caiga. La verdad está aquí. Look at me in my eyes, Commissioner. Como duermes con tanto pecado, you hide the monsters behind the show. Mientras el pueblo grita por lo que es real. Salven a los niños. Save them now. Castiguen al culpable. No more mercy. Let the house fall. Que se caiga. La verdad está aquí.
And we are back. Oh, thank you, Ryan, for that song of the week.
Yep.
Oh, we'll be posting that. I'll post that on the Spotify too.
Right. Go to Spotify and make sure that you download all your favorite Nerdport Records AI Division songs.
Yes. But with that being said, let's dive into our anchor topic of the week. Oh, the files that have been all over everyone's lips. The Epstein files.
All right, so before we dive into this, let me just preface this with saying there's been a lot of information that's been dumped over 3 million pages so far. And there have been a lot of names that have been put out there and a lot of names that have been redacted. And at this point, we cannot just say that everybody that shows up on the Epstein list knew about what he was doing and was a part of it, because there's a lot of people that didn't.
And as well as there's also other names that are on this that you have no idea if they're legit because they could be AI. There's photos that are possibly AI with people that are artists right now that have no idea.
Right.
So, where do we want to start?
Well, that's a good question. There's a lot to dive into.
I mean, do we want to just start with the ones that have been out there from the very beginning that not many people are surprised about? Or not,
actually,
sorry, you know what? Not surprised about, but that are not like, holy fuck, he's on this list?
I was about to say more so the ones that we are surprised about, like Epstein having business ties to Lifetouch. You know, and they travel across the country taking pictures of children.
Yeah.
Epstein being tied into Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay, yeah, that one I didn't know. I mean, just I look at like the what is it? The New York Giants owner, not the Maras, the Tisches. Wasn't expecting him to be on this list.
No.
There's emails for that. They don't explain what he was asking for. It was right after his divorce. And like we're also talking about people that are like when Ryan said this, we don't mean like people like what was her name? Ashley Mazzaro. Yes, she is on the list, but she has nothing to do with this.
No, she's on the list because as a teenager, she worked at Mar-a-Lago.
Yep,
That's it.
That's it. Someone like Chris Tucker being on this list. That's kind of surprising.
I'm not surprised at anybody that shows up on the list. What I'm going to be surprised about is whenever they start tying people to crimes. When they start tying people to crimes, that's when it's going to be interesting.
Right. So, I mean, is there anyone that, like, is there any actor that you, or actress, like, celebrity that you've seen that you saw this and goes, okay, what the hell?
Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, Jim Carrey, it's not, that's a surprise. I have to say that I was surprised to see someone like, oh god, I was surprised to see Cameron Diaz on this.
True.
Like, Bruce Willis, not really as surprised. George Lucas, I'm kind of surprised to see on this. then obviously you get like the ones that have been out for years, the Bill Clinton, the Trumps, the Clintons.
Clinton,
What?
that the Clintons show up a lot.
Yeah. The Obamas apparently. Michael Jackson, that's not a surprise. Like, people like that was not a surprise. Chris Rock is kind of surprised that he was on this list. Courtney Love being on this list is kind of surprising.
A little bit.
It just but the big question that everyone's gonna have is what's gonna be done.
Now, yeah, that's the big question. I do believe that there was some member of government that came out today and said that if we prosecute everybody that's in the Epstein list, it would cause a governmental shutdown. Like, it would collapse our government.
I think the first thing you have to do is go after people that have photographic, that, yes, they're in the files, but I think there would need to be photographic evidence that they were even tied to him.
Right.
Go after them first and then worry about people that are in the list. Get the slam dunks out of the way.
Well, I did see that they recently unearthed an affidavit from Donald Trump in like 2009
Yeah.
where he was attempting to turn in Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell to like the NYPD.
And now she's trying to work her plugs to say that she'll testify on behalf of Donald Trump if he pardoned her.
I haven't heard that.
Yes. I don't buy that one frickin' bit. She's gonna say whatever she can to get out of jail.
Pretty much.
So,
I think what's pissing people off the most about the Epstein files is the amount of redactions.
oh yeah.
I think that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, like, and what's funny is like, everyone points at Donald Trump. Like, they're the first people that they point at was Donald Trump. Donald Trump never said, he never shied away from saying that he wasn't friendly with Epstein.
Right.
Like, he made it perfectly clear, like, yeah, I knew the guy. Like, he flat out was he was a business partner of him. But, like, if you've noticed, though, after everything's been said, how quiet have people like the Obamas, the Bill Gates, the Hillary Clintons have been quiet?
Well, Bill Gates did come out and deny the claims from the Epstein files about him.
Okay.
The Clintons have agreed to testify before Congress.
It's going to come to that.
It already has, because they were going to swear out federal warrants for him. But they did say that, but they want it to be televised.
Interesting.
So my question is, do the Clintons bring down the House of Cards?
That's a great question.
Because if they want it televised, there's a reason.
Oh, they want everything. They want the walls to come tumbling down. They exactly want that. Now listen.
The way I feel about it is if your name shows up in the Epstein files and you hurt a kid, you go to fucking prison. I don't care who you are.
Yeah. That's not a red or blue thing. That's just you don't fuck with kids.
That's not a red thing or a blue thing. That's you're a sick motherfucker and you deserve to be under the prison.
Yeah.
Actually, no. You don't deserve to be under the prison. You deserve to be put in general population.
Thought you were going to say something else.
Nope. Gen Pop.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm not disagreeing with you on that. You don't fuck with kids. That's been a thing on this show since the beginning that we've had in this. Anytime we've talked about stuff that's been going on in the news, you don't fuck with the kids.
Correct.
It's been very simple with that. No, that's been everyone that's worked on this show or that has been part of this has had the same montage. We've all agreed on the same shit.
Correct.
But no, it's like, listen, hopefully we'll be seeing some. I mean, it got so bad we were seeing. There was a Super Bowl commercial.
Didn't see that one.
I got to see if I can find it. I'm going to send it to you. Apparently there was a Super Bowl commercial about the survivors of the Epstein files.
I heard about it. Didn't see it though.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it and I'll post it up. But something has to be done, and is it going to be the Clintons putting this on television and tearing down the house?
It's a real possibility.
So then we'll go from there. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, what else can be said? I mean, there's nothing else that can really be done. That it's all for the most part speculation because we don't have what they were doing there, what they've done. All we know is that if your name was in this, you've had some part and you're not coming out and saying anything about it.
Well, yeah, because it's a career killer.
Right. So the thing is we both know it. Until we get clear understanding, there's only, for the most part, speculation of what it is.
Correct.
Now, if you were on the island, then there's different issues. Then you have different speculation. Everyone has something different. Like, I'm just going to say one that I saw that I didn't believe because there was a photo of Post Malone with Epstein. I didn't believe that one bit. It looked AI as fuck.
Probably was.
Probably was. But, and that's the thing. Like, are we seeing people that are doing AI stuff like that it has to be careful on what we're seeing nowadays when it comes to these photos.
Yeah.
But, I mean, let's face it. The system treats the truth like a PR crisis, and it's all that can be cited inside a vacuum, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary. but there's nothing we can do about it till we get more information.
That's it.
But I think that's really it for the anchor topic. I think, do we want to move on to wrestling and then close this shop? Close it up? Yeah.
Let's hit Wrestling Town and pull her into the station.
Well, speaking of people that have been living life inside a vacuum, Joey Ryan has released his first episode out of 20 of his Redemption series.
I did hear about this.
Yes, it is a 20-week series, 20 episodes. He's going to release one every week about how he was canceled and is finding a road to recovery to get himself back into just normal society. Now, I've already seen people saying, I don't want to hear a fucking word he has to say. Okay. If you don't want to hear something, then this is not for you.
Yes, that is correct.
This was never going to be for you. Myself and Ryan have, I'm not trying to speak for you, Ryan, but we both have seen this and went, this is interesting. What is he going to say? Because when he got canceled, it was so abrupt.
Yes.
And I think what didn't help was the fact that it wasn't him getting canceled that was the problem. It was these fucking people going after him and him not letting him make a living. Like, okay, you want him out of wrestling, that's fine. But then when they were trying to get him fired from his actual 9-to-5 job...
Yeah, that was too far.
So, I'm wondering what this does. I'm wondering what he has to say. Because he could also be shining light on stuff that we know nothing about. He's opening himself up to a whole bunch of criticism, but at the same time, he's opening himself up to a path to get, I wouldn't say get back into wrestling, but get back into something.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I don't know. You're gonna watch? I take it you're gonna watch it.
Oh, absolutely. Look, before his decisions crumbled his career, I was quite the Joey Ryan fan.
Yeah, so was I. I mean, one of my biggest videos on my channel is a Joey Ryan move.
Of course it is.
But, trust me, in the wrestling, everyone's like, oh, well, you have to delete these. Bullshit. I ain't getting rid of history just because someone makes a fucking mistake. I'll change the names. I'll change the shit. I'll change the titles. But I'm never gonna get rid of... I have people that have done some fucked up shit that are in matches on my YouTube. Their names are not there. But I'm not getting rid of stuff because here's the problem. The matches might have been good, but if they're gone, then how are you ever going to go back and rewatch history?
Right.
And also, you're talking about shitty indie matches that, if you're really seeking them out, you'll find them, but... not everyone wants to get Bob Hollied.
All right.
Speaking of, I can't even use the Bob Holly joke here, because God forbid it's AEW.
Okay.
we had a title change last night on AEW, and Tommaso Ciampa drops the TNT title to Kyle Fletcher. Ciampa won that title during the week of the Royal Rumble.
Correct.
He had the title for 12 days, roughly. And dropped the title to Kyle Fletcher. Now, don't get me wrong. Love the fact that Kyle Fletcher is now the TNT champion. They gave it right back to him. Cool. Well,
What was the point?
what was the point of taking it off of him? Or what was the point of taking it off of Briscoe? You could have easily had Briscoe drop the title to Kyle Fletcher before.
Yeah. I mean,
now,
that would have been the logical booking.
yeah. So, and guess what? Now it's been now they're going to do a ladder match in Sydney, Australia between Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher. So, what was the point of giving it to Ciampa?
Oh.
That makes as much sense as them as Warner Brothers pulling Brody King.
No, we've already talked about that. They pull Brody King because they're not going to lose fucking money in sponsorship because of his stupid fucking political
Well,
statement.
now apparently WB has come out and have completely denied that they're the reason why he wasn't on television. So now it's a bunch of he said she said stuff going on.
Look, if they pulled him because of the fuck ice chance, that makes sense. They're going to lose sponsorship. They're going to lose money. That's not his job.
No.
At the same time, Brody King, you're a fucking pro wrestler, dude. You're a goddamn fall down man. Keep your political opinions to your fucking self because nobody cares.
Now, can I ask you one question? Now, this has everything to do with what's going on. So this happened. This was a tweet that someone put out that I kind of want your opinion being a wrestler. You know how Brody King has the Abolish Ice shirts?
Yes.
So someone wore this to the show yesterday.
Okay.
Security guard stopped him and told him he had to turn it inside. He had to flip it inside out.
Okay.
Now, he put these shirts out. Obviously, Brody King made money off of this. What is your opinion on the fact that now they're also doing this with merch? I think it's great. But I want your side because you're part of that side of it.
He's pandering to a political audience in order to further his career. He's trying to play a big social justice warrior, and it's all bullshit. He's doing it for his own selfish reasons.
Okay. Like, I think, God bless the security guard for telling this fan that, listen, that's not going to fly. You have to turn the shirt inside out.
You know, and here's the thing, because he's all like, "Oh, fuck ICE, abolish ICE. They're kidnapping my friends." Well, most of your friends that are immigrants that are here are wrestlers that are here on a fucking work visa, and that's why they haven't been bothered.
Yeah.
And you know what? Brody King is a prime example of, and actually, you know what? I'm going to use somebody that the liberal side loves to quote. Liberals love to quote Malcolm X, correct?
Yep.
Well, if you listen to Malcolm X, he'll tell you the most dangerous thing in the world is the liberal white person.
Yeah.
And Brody King is a shining example of why.
Yeah, like, listen, it's a business in every form of reality. Wrestling is a business. If your character is trying to get under the skin, like a Muhammad Hassan, that type of thing, and you're trying to pull the foreigner getting beat by the American, that's storytelling. This is bad for business, period, because it's not just storytelling,
It's committing federal crimes.
yeah. Like, now you're literally causing fans to chant something that, if it ever got out of hand, who's at fault then?
I mean, they'd go after Brody King for inciting a riot.
That's what I mean. Like, would it be Warner Brothers for airing it? Would it be Brody King for reciting it? Would it be AEW for allowing this to happen? Because it started because on AEW.
All of the above.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if it got out of control, like, it's funny because everyone's like, "Oh, MJF does this stuff." I go, MJF is the perfect heel
Yes.
because you pay to watch him get the shit knocked out of him. He promotes that guttural instinct that he's the modern day Ric Flair.
That's
Not
fair.
not as a quote unquote wrestler. I'm saying as, hey, he talks people into seats. Ric Flair, as much as everyone says he's a great wrestler, he's a one-trick pony. What was Ric Flair known for?
Talking.
My point exactly. Rick was not a, oh my god, he's a 5-star wrestler. He's a guy that would wrestle circles around people. No. He was a C+ wrestler. But he was an A+ talker.
That's fair.
He didn't need to be a A+ wrestler. Because he gave you an emotion that talked you into that seat because you wanted to watch him get his ass beat.
Right.
And that's where Rick is, let's face it, Rick is one of the greatest wrestlers ever. Dusty was the same thing. Dusty was a great babyface to play off of Rick's heel in the NWA. It was the perfect thing. Rick could talk you to seats. Dusty can keep you entertained. And when they wrestled, they were good enough that they made magic. Like, you look at the Miz in the 2000s. Miz and Cena. Miz did not have to be the best wrestler in the world, but he talked people into caring.
Okay.
But then you put him with Cena, where Cena can literally, if he needed to, wrestle with his eyes closed.
You're losing me here.
Meaning, you can be a good wrestler and not have to incite a fucking riot. Brody King is neither one of those. That's what I'm getting at. He's not the best for business. You have guys on this business that are better champions that can carry this company for further fucking time, and you don't need fucking political bullshit to get behind it.
Correct.
But kind of the last thing we'll talk about for wrestling is a retirement match, kind of. GCW, Las Vegas, WrestleMania weekend. Joey Janela's spring break. The Sandman is having his retirement match.
Against Tommy Dreamer. That's my bet.
No. Match has already been announced.
Who is it?
Himself. Sandman's retirement match is against the Invisible Man.
I'm out.
Yep.
I don't even. That's so fucking retarded. I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah. That's yeah.
That idea is so fucking stupid. I don't even want to give it any of our fucking airtime. That is the dumbest goddamn shit ever. Way to shit all over your own fucking legacy, hack.
I would have loved it to be Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, well, WCW named him right in Hardcore Hack because after this match, he will be a fucking hack.
And GCW is already sold out.
Yeah, well, looks like GCW is going to be in some trouble because GCW just got called out. Well, their owner did.
Yep, Brett Lauderdale got called out. If we're both thinking of the same one, Bazilla?
Yep.
Why don't you explain?
No, you go ahead.
So, I've seen little bits and pieces of it. I know he straight up called out Brett Lauderdale.
For being a creep.
I could have told you that from his days in CZW. It's not a surprise. He's a freaking... Brett Lauderdale is... Oh, how to describe Brett Lauderdale?
A predator?
He's up there. I mean, it's not... So just to save our hides, allegedly. But he's not... I've talked to him a couple times. He's not the greatest person. Like, he's not the best person in the world to talk to. He never used to run GCW. It used to be Danny DeMonto, and then Brett bought it from him. But he's been trying to make this company what CZW used to be.
Right.
But while doing that, he has done some questionable things. And Zilla someone's finally come out with some notoriety that doesn't need his bookings and has finally put the feet to the fire. I think there's going to be more that comes out of this.
Yeah.
And it's definitely going to be something that we're going to have to pay attention to.
It's going to come down to him either having to sell the company or shut the company.
GCW, I could think of a couple people that would buy that company in a heartbeat. Because there is notoriety in that company to where they could make a decent amount of money, like, because, I mean, they're literally what CZW used to be. Like, they're at that popularity. But I also think that it also depends on who runs it. Because, I mean, shit, you got people like Joey Janela that could get it, and that could pick it up, and they're on a boat, they're doing a fucking cruise right now. So, it's definitely something we're going to have to keep an eye on, right?
Oh, yeah.
But, with that being said, is there any final words you would like to... is there any final words, final thoughts?
No.
Nope. Alright, well then, from Soda Wars to Secret Files, from Fairy Tale Losses to Spring Training Optimism, that is our show, and if you like what you heard, please follow us on all social media accounts under the Nerdport Network. Follow us individually on Twitter at FNRonnie.
Stunt.Castillo.
And follow us on all other social media networks. And if you like what you heard, please tell your friends. But if you didn't,
Get fucked and stay fucked, cunt.
tell your enemies. But until then, just remember, spring training optimism is always a good thing, but you never can have nice things. So good night.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Nope. Good night. 3, 2, 1.
Viewer discretion is advised. This podcast is intended for audiences 18 and over and is absolutely not for the easily offended. Strong language, strong opinions, and questionable life choices ahead. The views expressed on this podcast do not reflect the views of the Nerdport Network. Probably, we assume.
The running paces, eyes on the clock. A ticking bomb, ready to shock. Stuck got dodge, he has let loose. Total less, no more excuse. Doesn't risk posse, hits the floor. Pure jump, begging for more. Break the glass, tear it down. Smash the room and wreck the town. Look at the mess the ruin brings. This is why we can't have nice things. Seconds, pure heat, fast drums, heavy beat, burn the wood, stay warm, face the center of the storm, break the glass and tear it down, smash the room and wreck the town, look at the mess the ruin brings, this is why we can't have nice, watch the smoke, see the fire, take the wreckage even higher, this is why we can't have nice things.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. I am your host, FNRonnie, and it is with me as always.
Captain Stuntcock himself.
Yeah. Hi, Ryan.
Dick.
You couldn't hear the song, so I was rocking out with the camera on, and he was pissed off.
Yeah, you're a dick.
Oh, and with us today, Ryan, would you like to?
Yes, so this is a close personal friend of mine, my brother from another mother. Everybody give him warm. This is my friend. Welcome to clearing the show right now, James.
Hello, everybody.
And we're canceled.
Problem.
Oh, but yes, welcome to This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. I've said it before in the past. This is our first season of our second episode. Air quotes, it's really our fifth. But if you are fans of the betting window and our old shows, it's pretty much the same thing where we dive into the what the fuck was that in the world of, in the world. Because, boy, somebody's going to get pissed off today.
Well, I mean, let's be a little clearer than that. If you were a fan of the betting window, if you were a fan of Real to Heel, it's a lot like that, except now we have the freedom to take that governor off and say and talk about the things that, well, let's be honest, most people are afraid to.
Now, if you're here from 10 years ago, God bless you, and you were a fan of The Blind Side, it's that.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, I will say what I want when I want, for the simple fact that I can fight. Can you?
My name is Finley, and I love to fight.
Like I'm just being factual. Like I say what I want because I can fight. Can you?
Listen.
If not,
Listen.
if not, shut up.
Shut up and fight. Yeah. Listen, when we can break it down, we just can't have nice things. Pay-per-views, concerts, movies, even sandwiches piss people off sometimes. I mean, where do we want to begin? Like, we normally will go into TV, movies. There's not a lot of TV news again. There is news.
No, but I have noticed that we keep building these heroes out of cardboard, and then we get a really to win, and these motherfuckers like a Timu suit, and everybody's supposed to act like it's some big terrible thing.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's going to be down to the anchor topic because let's face it, when it comes down to it, you should never treat your idols when you should treat your idols what you see on the court, not what you see in real life.
Agreed.
Yes. Oh, but all right. So there was some video game news, and I want to start off with this because, so do you know anything about the Capcom Cup, or what is the Capcom Cup? Do you know? Have you ever heard about this?
No, because I've touched a boob.
And see, Capcom tried selling me Street Fighter, but the problem is I got the Wi-Fi, I got everything else, but then when I went to play the game, they're like, hey, you got to play $4.99 for every time you hit the X button, and I'm just like, dude, really? Is this really what we've evolved to?
It's the illusion of choice.
That sounds like Call of Duty, but I mean, you're not wrong.
You scream, they laugh, they on the sandbox, and you're allowed to dig a fucking hole.
Yeah, but anyway, so the Capcom Cup is one of the quote-unquote 4 majors of fighting games. There's Evo, CEO, not Sasha Banks.
Gross.
We'll get to her in a little bit. Trust me on that. Yeah, because some shits her shit's fucking asinine. It's worse than the $25,000 she has to lose.
It's $25,000 just to get her fucking to show up at your show.
Yeah. But so normally it would be on Twitch. Hello, Twitch. It would normally be on Twitch. Every year they'll do it. This is where you get the new season coming out. They'll drop the new trailers and things along that line. Well, this year they decided that, hey, we don't want to give this away for free anymore. And let's face it, the championship stuff was the reason people would watch. Because the trailers at the end, that's the big thing. So they decided to do a pay-per-view. Pay to watch. $25 for the whole weekend. And you were not allowed to restream it. You were not allowed to pretty much talk about it. You just were there to watch it. Well, there's been a... what? Sorry, go ahead.
I'm not going to lie. That sounds pretty fucking lame.
It really is. But there was a lot of backlash from the fans. Like, obviously you would think that. Like, the normal fans that maybe don't pay attention to Street Fighter, but they watch tournaments in the background. So the esports decided to do something about it. Kind of. So the
That's so promising.
Oh, yeah. So if you want to watch the first 2 days of Capcom Cup, you can do it perfectly free on Twitch. The group stages and all that, perfectly free. If you want to watch the championship stuff, you have to pay $15 for the weekend for a weekend pass.
Hey, you know what they can get a weekend pass for? Sucking my balls.
Right. So, in reality,
Well, fine, that's average Tuesday afternoon for you. I mean, why do you want to pay for that when it's free? I mean, you're pretty easy.
Easy like
Girl.
Sunday morning.
Easy like Sunday morning.
But, like, so what does this do? Like, oh, well, they can watch the first half of it. But the people that actually want to watch this are watching it for the Sunday or Saturday night, Sunday, the championship weekend, the championship matches. They want the top 8s. They don't want the group stages.
Okay.
And, well, you'll get what are you going to get from this? Well, this year, let's face it, it's kind of a wash. Capcom Cup is kind of a wash because they can't really fix it unless they literally just do everything on Twitch, which they're not going to do. There's already too much money into it.
Right.
So they better fucking get their shit in order for next year, because if this happens again, they're fucked.
And see, the problem with it is is all these companies, especially Capcom, used to not be as bad about it, but they've kind of gotten bad these last couple of years. Is just the fact that everything has become a money grab. Like it's become so popular that offhand, when you say, "Oh, it's $15 for the weekend," that doesn't seem like a lot of money. But when you consider the fact that you have thousands upon thousands of people paying this measly $10, $15 for the weekend, they're making more money. They know what to do with. And then you got the Street Fighter movie coming out. You've got the games. I mean, it's a money grab. Like that, they don't care about quality anymore. They just care about how much money they're making.
No, and that's why the Capcom kind of lost the rights to the fighting series sets, because now Marvel decided to split off, went to Arc System Works, who does the Dragon Ball Z games and stuff like that, and they're doing Token, which is a fucking Marvel versus Capcom style fighting game with only Marvel characters, and it looks amazing. Like the Versus series is what made people want to play Street Fighter more.
You know what made me want to play Street Fighter more? For
What's
real?
that?
It was the pinball game.
I remember that.
The pinball game made me want to go over and put more coins in the arcade.
When you look at the state of how things are, I remember when we were all kids, Street Fighter was like the game to play. And at some point, I don't know if it was just because of the kind of repetition for the games or what, but at some point, Mortal Kombat kind of just took over. But I've always preferred Street Fighter.
It was the godfathers of fighting will always be Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and Tekken.
That's fair.
Like, and then if you add the fourth, you could add
Soul Calibur.
I wouldn't even say that. Virtual Fighter. Soul Calibur wasn't big in the arcades until later. Virtual Fighter is what beat that out. Virtual Fighter 2 is up there with the level of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Because you had the two 3D games and you had the two 2D games, and yeah, Mortal Kombat was the over the top. Street Fighter was the combos, and then Tekken and freaking Virtual Fighter were real fighting.
Yeah. Like Grand Prix.
Daytona.
We'll get to it.
There was the State of Play 2. I'll hit that real quick. The only real big news at a State of Play has to be God of War Remake.
Oh, absolutely.
1, 2, and 3 gonna be on PS5.
But here the problem is with that. After they showed the trailer, the president of Santa Monica, not Santa Monica, I can't remember.
It's Santa Monica.
Yeah, they came out and said that even though they're working on it, don't expect it anytime soon. So basically, they're saying, "Hey, look, get ready for this," but there's a chance it still might be 2 or 3 years down the road.
Yeah, what I'm waiting.
Wait.
Go
That's
ahead.
what I'm hearing.
What'd you say?
I said, what I'm hearing is hurry up and wait.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people are waiting because they're still talking about the next iteration of God of War, and we're getting closer and closer to Egypt being a real fucking thing.
Actually, I actually saw a thing today, actually, that is suggesting that, in the OG God of War series, the only weapons you really had were the Blades of Chaos and all the variations, the Blades of Olympus, the Blades of so-and-so.
Once you got into 3, that's when the real weapons really started being over the top.
Yeah, but then when you got to the Norse mythology, he has the axe. They are talking about when they get to Egypt that Kratos is going to be using a scythe.
As long as I get the Chaos Blades, I don't care.
Yeah. Which it wouldn't be God of War without the Blades of Chaos. Like, let's be real honest.
But also, then you have the freaking coat tuggers bitching and moaning about God of War, saying, "Oh, they need to get rid of the sex scenes."
Dude, here's the thing about God of War. Like, I understand, people don't want sexuality in video games. Cool, whatever. But the thing is, in ancient Greece, it was nothing but sexuality. Like, there was literally a whole goddess whose whole point was she was the goddess of sex and beauty.
Yeah.
Like, that was her whole thing.
Freaking Aphrodite's?
Yeah. Her whole thing was she was the god of sex and beauty. I mean, sex and
Yeah.
beauty.
But like, it's just like, people stop. What they need to do now is, okay, you don't want this? There needs to be a switch in the game where you could play it as the original game, or you could play it with freaking edits. Make it normal, pussify it.
See, the only reason I'm against that is because the one thing God of War actually got right, because, a lot of the times when you have video games based on any type of ancient lore or mythology, they always twist things to be more user-friendly. The one thing that made God of War so popular was that it stuck true to what the Greeks actually did back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is one of the reasons that it's become an enduring title.
Yeah. It's one of the, I mean, let's face it, it's one of the newer franchises that it's still going strong, what, almost 20 years later?
Let's see, the OG God of War came out in like 2002 or 3. Like, it came out with the PS2.
Yeah, so you're talking about close to 23 years.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I would be surprised is that you're saying wait 2-3 years. I guarantee you that this will come out for the 25th anniversary then.
Probably. I would say that. The only problem is they shadow dropped Sons of Sparta.
Yeah, I heard this was not good.
Yeah, there have been a lot of negative reviews on that game.
Like how negative?
Well, the thing is, as much as I hate to say this, because I, for one, love a 2D art style game, 2D art style games are just no longer popular. People don't care about when you go from the mastery of an open world God of War game or the linear hack and slashes we had with the original, and then you try to do a 2D platform. It just, people don't receive it well. I haven't played it myself, so I really can't, give an honest opinion, which I'm planning to as soon as I get paid tomorrow. I'm buying the new game. I'm going to try it out because I love everything God of War. But people just aren't interested in 2D platform games anymore, man.
I mean, nobody but like our generation, because I love 2D platformers.
Oh, yeah.
Side scrollers, fuck yeah, dude.
But here's the thing. There's one franchise that
like Scott Tenorman's Revenge or like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the new Scott Pilgrim game coming out.
But there's one franchise that has recently done what's it called? Has recently done 2D side scroller, and it was really good. And it's Assassin's Creed.
I mean, I'm not surprised it is Assassin's Creed.
They did a trilogy that was literally a complete side story for what? I think it was China, Russia, and
yeah, China, Russia, and
India.
I think, yeah, India, yeah. Speaking of Assassin's Creed, have y'all seen the leaks about the new Assassin's Creed game?
No.
Codename Hex. It is based during the witch trials.
Okay, I would have preferred the one that was rumored that we're never gonna get, and it kind of pisses me the fuck off. based in the Civil War time where you were a slave in the Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, they scrapped that because of the political climate in the world. I'm not getting into that, but they scrapped it because of that, and they decided, and they're not even doing the Salem witch trials. They're doing the European witch trials, which are a little less violent.
See, what sucks and it's funny because when this first came out, I even said to you, how would you feel about this, and this going after KKK members? You're like, that's great. Well, it's never going to happen.
No, but you can do it in Red Dead Redemption too.
They actually, and I'm a big history buff. Ryan knows this. There is one Assassin's Creed game that they toyed with that they have completely abandoned that I kind of wanted to see just to see how it would have played out. They had, from what I was reading, it could have been false. It could have been a false report. So don't quote me saying it was real. But there was a report that I saw that said they were going to do an Assassin's Creed game based in 1940s Germany. They had attended for you to play an Auschwitz survivor that escaped and became an assassin.
I would have. I wonder how that fucking story would go.
I'd have played it.
I mean, I didn't play it. I just want to know how. Cause are you diving headfirst into that whole story, or are you tiptoeing? Because they like to tiptoe around stuff now. They don't like to.
I think for that one you gotta go like
You have to go full in.
Yeah, you have to. It's got to be like a full-on Schindler's List as a game.
Yeah,
because that would be a great concept of a game. But at the same time, too, how many people are ready for that kind of climate?
Well, see, the reason they scrapped that one and the reason they scrapped the Civil War slave idea is just because I'm going to try to say this without getting political because I don't want to get political, but it's just with the climate we live in now, it was just deemed too offensive.
I think
which
is just history, though. Like, that's the thing. When it comes down to it, there are things that, yes, they didn't touch in a lot of the Assassin's Creed games, but in reality, like, they're not that bad. Like, there's always going to be some kind of truth. And we'll even go back to this last one they just did, where everyone's freaking out about how Shadow was not historically correct. Right, but it wasn't false either.
See, the only thing that hurt Shadows, though, and the thing that hurt Shadows was the Ghost games, Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotei.
Yeah.
Those two games, if for anybody listening, if you've never played them, two of the best games ever made, in my opinion. They tackled Japanese history so beautifully, and they stayed true to a lot of the lore, a lot of the spiritual and economical things they did in feudal Japan. And that it hurt Shadows because Shadows was basically Japanese history if you didn't know anything about Japanese history.
I mean, the other game that did great like that was Black Myth Wukong.
Yes, but that's Chinese history. That's not Japanese.
I mean,
history.
it's Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
The story's based off of Dragon Ball. Like the story of Dragon Ball Z is literally Black Myth Wukong. It's the way of the West.
Yeah.
So it's literally the same fucking story.
Pretty much, yeah.
But we'll see. Definitely keep the ear to the ground because, God forbid, no pun intended, I think everyone's waiting for that God of War game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody is, yeah.
But, all right. Moving on to TV and movie news. Ryan, where'd you find this? We're getting a Small Soldiers 2?
Yeah, so the original writer has started working on a script. Apparently, David Cross and Jay Moore are interested in the idea. This one, I believe, is going to be called Battle of Necron.
Yeah.
And the way I'm seeing it, the only way they could do this and make it work is if, first off, they confirmed that the Gorgonites did, in fact, find Gorgon. And if we remember, there were a couple of soldiers that survived the EMP blast.
Right.
So, so what if Chip made another army and has spent the last 20 years scouring the wilderness to finish?
See, I loved the first Small Soldiers. I really did. The second one, though, it was like somebody kicking down your front door and making their own version of mac and cheese in your mom's kitchen. It just.
It's making those collard greens and not knowing how to cook them right.
But
It's
the fact
like-
that the nostalgia factor is going to hit, people are going to watch it. This is something that's going to give humanity hope and then hopefully laugh at itself.
So the only people as of right now that you said that are back is Jay Moore.
And I believe Dave.
Because Jay Moore was in the original, so.
Speaking of people making bad decisions, though,
Jay Moore and David Cross.
And David Cross, okay.
but speaking of people making bad decisions, can we talk about what Michael Jordan was thinking during the Daytona 500?
All right.
Like,
Yeah,
really,
you know what?
Can we talk about what he was thinking during the
You know what? There's no
Daytona
TV.
500?
There's no TV news. That was barely any movie news. There was not a lot of movie news. Let's dive into this and dive into our anchor topic for the week, sponsored by Ghost. Actually, I was not prepared for that. What the fuck am I doing, Ronnie? It's not like I'm a fucking professional at this shit. All right. Yes. Our anchor topic is sponsored by Ghost. Need a boost to power through your day? Grab a can of Ghost energy drink. I just finished one, really, too. Fucking the Ghost Grape Cran. Welch's Grape
Yeah,
Cran.
dude. Look, I just saw that one in the blue raspberry in stores out here. How is it?
Grape Cran, a little dry. I've had the blueberry one. The blueberry literally tastes like fucking blue raspberry. If you're a fan of blue raspberry, you love it.
It should be dry. It's got cranberry in it.
I know, but they got it pretty much correct. I'm waiting for the A&W one.
Oh, shit.
Yep, but yes, need a boost, get through your day, grab a can of Ghost Energy and feel the difference. Both flavors, zero sugar, natural caffeine. Ghost delivers what you need to crush your workouts and tackle your biggest challenges, like your next God of War sitting or Assassin's Creed sitting. No jitters, just clean substance energy. Stay focused at the top of your game. Plus, Ghost Energy also does proteins, pre-workouts, pretty much anything you can think of. They have it in ridiculous flavors.
They do have the best flavors on the market.
Say that again?
They do have the best flavors on the market. It's all natural. I'm a big fan. I've bought so many I should own stock in the company. Give the electric limeade a try.
Yes. The one thing I will always do is for the gamer fuel, quote unquote gamer fuel side of it, where it's just the powder. Sonic's cherry limeade.
That sounds good.
It tastes like fucking Sonic's cherry limeade.
That's what's up.
Certain guys, when it's there, it's back page. It's them fighting for the back page, so that if the Mets know that they're going to the Yankees, they kind of actually do fork up the money that they need to. I get your point, though.
Right, but again,
I
the Yankees,
I get your point.
the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Red Sox. These are three teams that will cough up any amount of money for a player that they want.
Yeah.
Including going in and taking players from systems that developed their talents and made them the star they are, knowing that they can't compete with them financially. So yeah, cap salaries. Let's see if we can't curb that type of shit. Maybe we can stop the Yankees from buying another 21 World Series wins.
But I also think there needs to be a floor for the sole fact that you get guys that are like the Diamondbacks, not the Diamondbacks, sorry, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Reds, that develop these star guys, and not even have offers from other people, but refuse to even put up a secondary contract in front of them. Let the player turn it down. At least then in the market, you can turn around and be like, hey, I offered him this. He didn't want it.
Yeah, but they've got too many little fucking stupid rules, especially on farm players, on younger rookie players. You know, where you can't fucking be traded or switch teams for like fucking 5 developmental years or some bullshit.
If it's a developmental contract, they can't be there after 6 years. Once they hit arbitration,
Right.
they're able to get traded. So that's so that's usually when they're 3 years before their contract's up. So like a normal contract 7 years after farm league.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
If you know the things that you understand, it's easier to figure out.
Honestly, though, if you look at it, it's what the Cardinals have done repeatedly over the years.
Yeah, the Cardinals has reloaded.
They bring up these farm system players. They turn some of them into superstar players, and then once we hit arbitration, sometimes they stay, sometimes they go. I mean, look at David Freese.
Yeah, but like,
I mean, I know we got him in a trade, but
like you look at like the Cardinals. The Cardinals have their core 4 players, and then find reasonable contracts around them.
Since you brought that up, I got a fun question for you.
Okay.
Name them. Currently.
Now they're still.
Exactly.
So actually, I can give you at least 2. Lars Newbar.
Mhm.
What's the rookie that just came up? He's gonna be the guy they surround him with. Jordan Walker. But like you think about it, but like those are the only 2 I can really say right now that they're gonna surround their team around. But you go back 6 years ago when it was Yachty and.
Oh God, dude! And with Yachty in that lineup, you can go back even farther. You can go back to like the early 2000s, whenever it was like Yachty, Albert, Waino, Carpenter, and Johnny Peralta.
But you looked at those 5, and then the other pieces around them is what made that team. That's what I'm getting at. I'm saying, like, you look at.
You know what? That's true, because back then we had like Randall Grichuk.
Yeah, so they were able to take their core 5 with their contracts and worked around those.
Yeah. I think it's been a while since St. Louis has had a new player with any real name power behind him.
Jordan Walker. Jordan Walker's your guy. Is your new guy.
Right, he's the new guy, but I'm talking about previous. Right. Because like Yachty retired, and after that, who was it?
Yeah, that they really didn't have a big time guy under contract that they could sell to fans. And that's what really in the long run what you're trying to do. You're trying to sell the team to the fan base for the next upcoming years. I think there needs to be a floor at least. Because I'm sorry, like I said, I look at Pittsburgh, and you have a guy like Paul Skeens that right now he's in pre-arbitration. That's beside the point. But you have this kid coming up from the minor leagues and Connors, who's going to be their possible all-time, like their biggest shortstop they got coming up. Now, take it for what it's worth. It's spring training, and I'll wait until May when he starts fucking actually hitting major league pitching. But if you got a guy that is very anticipated coming up, well, all right, well, now what? You're getting a core team. You're getting a core player that you're going to not keep your core around after 4 years. And O'Neal Cruz, Paul Skeens, and Connors. And then what? Like, in 3 years, what happens?
Right.
Then Skeens goes away, O'Neal Cruz goes away, and then what do you have left? You're just standing there with your fucking dick in your hand, pissing in the wind.
Look, all I'm saying is I don't want to watch the same payrolls in October every year.
I agree with that.
There's my argument.
That's why Toronto was such a big deal last year. Toronto making the World Series last year was such a big deal, and just like, Dodgers decided to go out and buy. Yeah, the Dodgers went out and what's the Dodgers payroll this year? $381 million this year for their payroll.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous, dude.
Kyle Tucker, Shohei Ohtani, and Blake Snell make over $31 million this season. Kyle Tucker makes $57 million in a year this year. Shohei is making $46 this year. They are together. Tucker and Ohtani together are roughly 32% of the luxury tax.
Okay.
But because because Shohei Ohtani they fucked around with his deal for cash salary, he's only getting paid $2 million this year.
Cool.
But then when his contract's over, he's going to get paid $44 million in a year. Go figure. But
that's fucking retarded.
Yeah, it is. It really is. There needs to be a cap. There needs to be a floor. Because you need everybody to... There needs to be an even playing field in reality. Because when you go into every season looking at, the Dodgers... Okay, I know we're not looking at this yet, but the Dodgers...
How many teams can afford a $381 million fucking salary for their players?
4? 5?
Out of how many?
Out of 32?
Yeah, totally fair, right?
So you think about it, the Mets can afford that, the Yankees can afford that, the Red Sox can afford that. I'm not counting the Dodgers, we already know because we're talking about them. So Dodgers, Red Sox, Yankees, Mets, that's it. So 4.
I don't think the Mets payroll is anywhere near that.
Yeah, they are. I'll tell you exactly what their payroll is this year. Their payroll this year is $368. $368 million this year for the Tech. They're second behind the Dodgers.
That's ridiculous.
Well, when you have the contract of Soto at $51 million. Yeah. Here's a joke for you. There are 37 between Bo Bichette and Juan Soto. It's 37%.
37% of the salary.
Luxury tax.
Yeah.
They're the two highest guys.
Start capping everything. Level the playing field. And let's break down the egos of some of these guys that are like, I deserve $51 million for fine motor skills.
Well, I've always been under a belief that if you want your contract to be $51 million, okay, you start at say your normal contract's $5 million, and then you get more money progressively how you do in the season. If you max out everything that they give you, it could be up to a total of $51 million. But then you're earning every bit of that contract.
They're not, though.
No, but you get what I'm saying. But then you're not paying them $51 million.
I am a baseball fan myself. I've played it. I've coached it. There is not a player alive today worth that type of money because what they're doing is a learned skill. Literally anyone can do it.
Now, the only argument that everyone would have for Shohei would be, oh, well, he plays both positions. He didn't do that last year. He didn't play both positions last year.
Is
And
he playing
got,
both positions? Is he playing both positions at once?
I mean, hitting and if he's a pitcher, yeah. Because remember, they changed the rule for him.
Yeah, because that again, that's a fair playing field.
Yeah, because, oh, well, he could be a pitcher and a DH at the same time. So, so then he's a pitcher that's batting as a D. So we're gonna pull him as a pitcher, but then he's a DH. How does that make sense?
So he's playing like in high school and college where pitchers were in the batting rotation still.
Yes, but hear me out. This is where shit gets stupid and or
It's
the great,
already fucking
or retarded. Say if he's pitching.
way past it.
Well, hold on. Say if he's pitching and he gets shelled, and he's in the lineup. What normally would happen if if the pitcher gets pulled? Normally, he wouldn't be allowed to bat, correct? Nope, not happening. If he's now done with pitching, he can still get his at-bats. He would be in the lineup as a DH.
Okay.
Tell me how that
Look,
makes sense.
It's fucking retarded.
It is.
I'm done talking about it.
They need to change something because, God forbid, they already have Shohei Ohtani to... They have the Dodgers already in the fucking playoffs and the season hasn't even fucking started yet.
Yeah, they're going to be in the World Series because they bought it.
Yeah, I mean, you're not getting a argument out of me about that one. And everyone's like, oh, the Mets are buying it too. Well, yeah, but...
The Mets are buying their way into the postseason, but they ain't buying a World Series.
No. But, like you said, small markets get eaten up by the big markets, and then it's the same fucking people every October.
Yep.
But it is what it is. Right now, it's just a cosplay party, right?
Yep.
But, you know what isn't a cosplay party? I mean, technically, you can say that it is the National Football League. Oh,
Okay, hit me.
Well, so you know how they love having traditions and completely fucking with it?
Of course.
Well, it has been officially out there that the Kansas City Chiefs and the Chicago Bears are leaving their respective stadiums.
Okay, so let me just say the Bears kind of bum me out, especially with where they're moving to. Like, they're moving to the fucking ghetto.
Yeah, in the ghetto, with a cabinet and money.
Right, a little hungry, mouth speed, Gary.
In the ghetto.
In the ghetto, Gary, Indiana.
The only thing good to come out of Gary, Indiana is Bob Ross.
And as far as the Kansas City Queefs go, get the fuck out and take those fucking Royals and that faggy ass blue with you.
So, what's funny about that, about the Chiefs or the Queefs going out, is they're technically not changing the fucking thing. They're just going to Kansas City, Kansas, and not...
Correct. I mean, look, it's a smart move, like, branding-wise, because now they don't have to rebrand.
No. Maybe you get a change of colors?
I don't think you're going to get a change of colors. I think they're going to stay just the way they are. But they are getting a fucking high-end stadium with a dome.
Now, okay. So here's two things with that. I didn't know about the dome. I don't know if it's retractable or not. But how do you feel? Oh, go ahead.
I don't either, but I'm okay with a dome.
I don't know. I don't. So
We can
I am one of
paint a
those
giant
people
person
that
on it.
I am one of those people that if you're going to fucking play sports, play it the way God intended. I can understand baseball because of rain and shit like that, but football, unless there's lightning, the game is played in the elements.
Yeah, but you know they're not going to do that for old Patty Mahomo.
No, but I also like what they did with the seats, or not the seats, but like the stadium that ends up, hey, we're going to heat the field. So the field at least will be there. But oh, well, because everyone's still bitching about when Miami went to Kansas City and played when they played in the fucking like the 20-degree weather.
They played ice balls.
But okay, they played
And
ice
they
ball.
don't-
I played in hurricanes. Like, no bullshit. I've actually played a game, or I've had practice in a straight hurricane. So, for them to be like, oh, well, we need to fix the... Because that's the other thing, too. If you're going to sit here and tell me that the Chicago Bears are going to get a fucking dome, fuck you. Because Soldier Field is the last of, next to Lambeau is the last of the old guard when it comes to football fields. The Link is gone. The Meadowlands are no more. Their Giant Stadium is no more. Like that. Like what do you? What?
Adios.
Yeah. So you're gonna sit. So Chicago's getting a new stadium. All right. Well, why is Soldier Field going away? Soldier Field should not be touched. And you know it's going to get demolished because it's in the middle of. Because it's not going to get used by anybody else. I don't know. I don't like that. I'm still a very traditional guy. I think if you want to have a retractable dome, then we're good.
But the biggest thing with all these teams moving, because you know St. Louis moved, Oakland moved, San Diego moved, now Chicago and Kansas City is like, don't fucking try to sell me the loyalty of these teams to their fan bases while they're treating cities like leases.
Yeah, like everyone's like, oh well, the Jets and Giants should have went. One of them should have went to New York. No, not with the taxes. Like, I don't like the fact that, like, oh, well, the Jets should be in New York. No, well, they should not be called the New York Jets because they play in Jersey. Or the New York Giants should not be called the New York Giants because they play in Jersey. That's my only issue. But, well, then that leads to the question that you brought up to me, and what would you say about them expanding the league?
I'd be all right with an expansion. Bring football back to some cities that are losing it or have lost it.
San Diego,
St.
St.
Louis.
Louis. What other ones would you? Houston? No, because the Oilers the Texans are there now. If you could put two more teams in, where would it be?
I'd put a team in Utah.
Okay, yeah, Utah, fucking in Provo. That would be that would be nuts because that crowd base in college is fucking batshit crazy.
Right. And want to go south.
South. I mean, you want to?
Mississippi.
Would you go Mississippi? Would you go Georgia? Even though Atlanta,
No.
I mean like Georgia, Bama, around that area, like the border.
No, because I wouldn't want to do anything to fuck with that border war.
Fair. Yeah, the SEC is. Also,
I don't want to give
the,
them.
the SEC kind of lives fucking.
I don't want to give those guys anything to agree over. So, I'm gonna throw James a bone since he's not here, and I'm gonna say Mississippi.
I mean, that wouldn't be a terrible spot.
No, I mean all the Mississippi fans just gravitate towards, closer states that have teams like Louisiana, Tennessee.
Yeah. But I mean, like you said, loyalty is bullshit when you're treating cities like leases.
Yep.
But there is one more sports topic I want to talk to you about. And it actually broke yesterday, and I didn't really get a chance to put it in the rundown.
All right,
And
what do we got?
It has to do, and it's a college football topic. And it is one of.
We could never get through a week without college football.
Well, no,
being
but
done.
it actually has to
Don't do
do with a game that me and you absolutely love. It has nothing to do with Hawaii.
Okay,
Army Navy.
I knew it.
Did you hear about this?
I did, but go ahead.
So, if anyone doesn't know about this, Army Navy usually is the second to last week before championship football.
Correct.
Well, they came out and they want to switch the day of when the game is played from the standalone game during bowl season to Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah.
Sorry, but now you're going to change the game where it's not going to be a standalone game anymore. It is going to be fighting against possibly either the Black Friday game or rivalry weekend for college football. And I personally don't agree with it. I don't think it needs to be touched. I think if you're going to do that, you got to find a way to give this, it's either make it a night game or find a way to make it a standalone on a Black Friday. And that means get rid of the NFL.
Yeah.
But you saw this. So what's
I'm with you, actually.
Because I don't agree with this. I don't like the fact that Army Navy doesn't need to be moved.
No, that game is too important in that slot.
Yeah. Like, I don't mind it being moved. It has to be with the fact that it has to be a standalone game. It has to be by itself. They've earned that right. If anything, they've earned that right to be the standalone game. The pageantry, keep the college football tradition about that, because first off, I hate the Black Friday game. Not just the fact that it's the Chiefs playing, but I hate the fact that it's just, we need to play on Black Friday because we're the NFL. Fuck you!
Right, you got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas.
Yeah. But, yeah, they want to do... We've stopped fucking with the sanctity of college football. Because everyone will say, there's no sanctity of college football. There is. It bothers the fuck out of me because you're killing a sport that doesn't need to be fucking ruined. I don't mind these kids getting paid. But you don't need the NFL is not the end all be all of football. And it doesn't, and college football can take over the NFL if it needs to for one fucking weekend. But yeah, I saw that. I mean, that makes as much sense as the NFL trying to say, hey, if you kick a 60-yarder, it's going to be 4 fucking points. But I'm not going to get into that because fuck them. That's stupid. That's even dumb. That's even dumber than before.